Hello, boys and girls. I am Zach with Slate Robotics. Today we're going to talk about grippers. So, I was kind of surprised to find out whenever I was, first getting into robotics, just how difficult a good gripper is. There's a lot of great grippers out there, but they're really, really expensive. So if you need to build something for low cost and it needs to be good, there's not much on the market. So I really had to rethink. I had to think outside the box. I really had to rethink the typical way to design grippers. So before I get into the TR2 gripper and what we've done differently there, just really quickly, for those that aren't familiar, typically grippers are for the low cost kind of hobby market. They're kind of designed like this. This is this is off of actually an open source design. It's been modified a little bit, but here we have just a standard hobby servo attached to gripper fingers. I've also played around with these are Dynamixel servos, and you can set the position of them, and you can even adjust how much torque is set with that, like the maximum torque and speed and stuff like that. So these are really cool devices. But the problem with applying them in a gripper setting, and if you haven't played with this a lot, you might think, well, that's the most obvious option. You can set the position, you can open and close, if you have some sort of mechanism for that. And the downside with these is that anytime you have if you have a motor that's stalling, it creates a lot of heat. So, with these servos, as the gripper fingers close, you have to keep, applying power to the motor so that motor applies that gripping force and clamps your object. So that just generates heat on the motor side. So what you have to do if you want a low-cost gripper, I don't know how you can spend $5,000 on a gripper. I don't know anything about what those grippers are like. But if you want a low-cost gripper that can grip something continuously, and you don't have to worry about overheating, the force has to come from something other than the motor. So that's exactly what I've done with the TR2's gripper. This is using the same DC motor, but it's using a worm drive gearbox, which means that it's not back drivable. And that means once you put it into position, it's locked in place, and only until you apply current or apply voltage in the opposite direction, then it'll open. So that's how the open and closing happens. But once it's put into place, once it's stalled out and it's locked in there, it's going to continue to apply that force because it can't back drive. And a lot of that force comes actually from the elasticity of the fingers themselves. This is ABS plastic. So the elasticity of the fingers and the fact that it can't back drive is really ultimately what applies the force here. So all that to say, I haven't seen anybody design a gripper like this. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen anybody do anything like this. So with what you typically get with servos or with grippers that are in this kind of price range, you're going to get a maximum duration of gripping. So you're only going to be able to grip, I mean, honestly, for my test, 10, 15 seconds max. And then you have to drop the object that you're holding, and you have to let the motor cool down for like a minute to 2 minutes. Or else you get problems that I've had in the past, which are it gets so hot it burns up the electrical components there. It's burned up a capacitor or MOSFET. It just gets so hot in there it destroys everything. So you typically get 10, 15 seconds. You have to have a minute to 2 minute cool down after gripping because it's limited in how much force it can apply and for how long. So with this gripper though, with the TR2 gripper, we negate all of that. You get really unlimited gripping time. Now I put on the website 24 hours because I'm not gonna claim unlimited gripping time. I'm sure, given a million years of it gripping, something's gonna go wrong. But you will be able to get 24 hours of gripping time with this thing. So in other words, you don't need to worry about any cool down or anything like that with your applications. So this is an aluminum square tube, as you can see, 1/4 inch, or I'm sorry, I think it's 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, something like that. So I'll put it in here, press the button to close the gripper, and as you can see, This is 1.3 kilograms, 1.35, something like that. It's a big thing, and it's smooth. It's really smooth. So that just shows you how much gripping force is really happening here. Let's see if I can turn it. Just like that. So this thing really can grip a lot. And it can grip anything for, an unlimited duration of time. I mean, I can throw anything in here and it'll grip it, and it'll just hold on to that for as long as you want. I mean, shoot, I don't know if I should just set the clock and let you guys watch it hold here or not. But this new design really enables the developer. I just thought that, like, the fact that you had to have a 10-15 minute grip duration with a 1 or 2 minute cooldown, that was such a quirky thing to have to work around with your application. So it's been really cool to find a solution to that with our grippers, and you don't have to do anything quirky, and ultimately I don't want the developer to have to worry about the hardware stuff. I just want you, the developer, the customer, to just worry about your application. I want to pick this thing up and I want to take it over there, and if it takes 2 minutes of driving to get from this table to that table, and it has to grip it during that whole time, so be it. We need to be able to do that. So as you can see, it's still applying the force. It's been a while, and I can tell you, this gripper is really cool to find that quirk. So just one more thing that TR2 is doing different than the rest of the guys. This is a cool platform. So check out our website, slaterobots.com. You can place your order for the TR2. We just dropped the price down, actually, of the TR2, the base price, because NVIDIA, as you may or may not know, has come out with the Jetson Nano, which is a smaller computing platform. So we offer that as the base option so that we can get the base price down below $4,000, which is really, really cool. You can still do the upgrade, and you can have the big boy computer on there for an additional $700. They got the AGX, AGV, Xavier. So those are really cool. So great value, some cool innovations on the TR2. Thanks for watching, you guys. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks, TR2.